Our speaker today is Marcia Booth. She is the founder and president of Recycle Brevard. She founded Recycle Brevard in 2011 and opened its first facility in Rockledge in 2017. They now have an office in Cocoa Village and three drop-off locations, one in Rockledge, Merritt Island, and Satellite Beach. Recycle Brevard is a nonprofit that's 100% run by volunteers and funded fully by donations. Marcia has a master's degree in environmental education, and she's also a trained facilitator for Project Wild, as well as Project Learning Tree. As part of her mission of making information available and raising awareness about environmental issues, Marcia writes a monthly column called Beyond the Curve for a local newspaper, The Air Voice. All right, and with that, I will hand it over to Marcia.
All right. So welcome everyone. I'm glad to see, some people interested in recycling. And what we do, and that's very um, uh, exciting. So let me get started. I'll just go through a PowerPoint. So let me share my screen. All right. And so hopefully everybody can see my screen. And this is I've revisited um, PowerPoint that I created about the 3 Rs because Recycle Brevard, despite the main name, Recycle Brevard, is about the 3 Rs. So even our logo is reduce, reuse, and Recycle Brevard. Um, just for the ones who don't know, when I started, I was getting an answer to my daughter's questions. She was 6 years old and she saw a garbage truck pass by and she asked me, where does trash go? So I booked a landfill tour at the time and the two of us went. And I was, you know, just learning too about all uh, the the rating of recycling, the how how little we were doing at the time, and because I was also taking a class at Eastern Florida, um, it was community involvement, and the class was all about if you see something that needs to be done in your community, you know, go ahead and do it. So I took that to heart and created a blog and a Facebook page to start sharing information. And from there, we just grew into a nonprofit and that's history now. It's been 14 years. So so this is who we are. Just, I started as a volunteer in the community. Recycle Brevard was just an idea, was just, like I said, resources that I wanted to share. And from there, we incorporated as a 501(c)(3), and years later, we got the facility. That's the picture on the left. Um, and for 6 years, we were in Rockledge. And last year, the building was sold, and then we had to move out. So now the format that we found that um, would work better is to have an office. And our office now, the picture's on the right, so it's in Cocoa Village. We have hours are just Saturdays, so Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And what we have there is a bazaar in the front, and that's a picture from the inside. So we have arts and crafts and things, um, and um, and also our recycling boxes and everything, and then our office. So that's our space right now. I'll go more into that as we cover everything here and about the drop-off locations and everything. But we are 100%, including me, we are 100% volunteers trying to make a difference. So let me move on. So this is our focus. It is reducing waste the the best way we can, and increasing recycling is one way. Um, but basically, practicing the 3 R's. So reduce, reuse, and recycle. Um, so the 3 R's. So I just gave it away. Uh, so who doesn't know, right? It's reduce, reuse, recycle. And that's what we do. And that's why we try to help the community to do more, because sometimes you just don't know where to take things. And so that's how we operate for things that cannot um you cannot find a use for it, or you cannot find where to dispose of it safely. We try to find different avenues for that. So that's how we see the 3 R's. So the first one, the most important, will be reduce, because if you reduce, you don't have anything to reuse or recycle because you don't have the thing. Um, so that's the first thing that we should focus on. And then you can practice that, just saying no, or even purchasing like secondhand, so you don't contribute to, the production of more and all that. So second will be reuse, and and that could be donating things or selling, or creating something new out of something that you already have, and so on. And lastly is recycling. So if you cannot do the other two, then you look for a way to recycle it. Um, Next, focus on the reduce. How does Recycle Brevard work on reducing? So we have our initiatives. One is through our educational programs, and another one is to have uh, sustainable products and reusable, like, reusable bags and things like that, available for the community. So we have that at our bazaar, and everything is run by donation. So, for a donation, we have a selection of different things that were donated to us. Most of the materials that we have, they're either brand new or secondhand, like loved, uh, and they are available at the bazaar. So our side of education, so we have for just open up, and because sometimes we just don't see other alternatives, and we have the discussion courses, and that we are doing. We had one in the fall that was reconnecting with Earth. We follow the ecochallenge.org. They have different books. So this spring we're going to be doing a world of health. So that's the little blurb that I put there. So it's going to be from April 3rd through May 15th. And basically the discussion courses, we follow the book, like I said, so and just read various essays, and talk about it, how we see it, our experience, and then it's more like an exchange of how we see or experience different things, and tr- try to figure out what we can, if anything, improve in what we do, or help others to do better. And that's the kind of thing and the goal for the discussion courses. Along the same lines as the online eco challenges. The eco challenge that we're going to have is going to be now in April as well, for Earth Month. And it's basically you choose actions that you want to take. It can be learn more about a topic. It can be um, just changing something that you do every day, or a one-time action that you keep, postponing and uh, to do, and then you decide, yeah, that this is, I'm gonna do this now. So just different things, and then you pick the areas. It can be environment, it can be food, it can be a lot of different things. So that's also part of our uh, approach to reduce. So like I said, you see things differently, or from somebody else's perspective, and just makes you reflect. So and then presentations like what I'm doing right now. So love going to the community and doing presentations to different groups. I did like the last one, I think it was the garden club. And and just surf rider, um, in different groups like that, so we can just bring more awareness to the community and so they know also what is available through us. So, and then we go to reuse, so our second one. And the way that we approach reuse is to make materials that are good to still be used and available to the community instead of sending them to the landfill. So we have again in our bazaar, we have the greeting cards that were never used, some signs and little decor for, the home or beads and different things. So we have that. Sometimes there's excess. Somebody bought too many of something or, and didn't get to use. And then if they have too much, they want to share or they just want to not use anymore. So it's no use to them. So they go ahead and donate to us. So we can have either at our bazaar or we share it with the community. We donate to teachers, donate to just, residents. And that's on the column on the left. That's what I'm going to talk about. Um, so we walk the walk. So from our furnishing in our office and things that we do as hands-on projects or when we go to events, it's all we try to reuse most of the material or use what we received as a donation and use that in a different way or just reuse if it is a container, if it is so we do that in our daily activity. Um, and also we have the program Recycle Brevard Gives Back. So that was we do that just bringing materials to the events and sharing. So we had the last one we did was the open house at Brevard Zoo. So all teachers they were welcome to just take the materials that we had and they did. Um, so we now have even a newsletter that's a supply hub that we call. So some teachers signed up for that, and so they received like what we have, and they can send a message back saying, "Hey, I'm interested in that," and um, we coordinate the pickup and things like that. So that's the gives back. Crafting with friends. This is events that these are events that we organize to reuse material. So it's like a all in one. So we reuse the material. We talk about a little bit about the 3 R's and Recycle Brevard at the events. Friends get together to have a good time. And we also it serves as a fundraiser to our organization. Um, so that's we had the last one was a craft for families. So we did that. It was a parent child, and so that was the last one we had. But we've had for like have a wine and do something with corks. So we create a craft, and then while friends, they bring the wine or and just having a good time and working on a craft. So that's basically what it is. And now this year we're starting the Recycle Brevard Connect. And this is a program since we are now just on Saturdays at the office, and we have drop-off locations where people can take their material, and I'll show the address in a little bit. But we want it to come to the community as well and be more accessible. So what we're doing this year is for 6 months, like 3 months in spring, 3 months in the fall. We're gonna have a day at the library, the local library. So most of them are Sundays, and because we open the office on Saturday, so we're doing Sunday, and we'll be in different areas. So I have over here, let me just, so these are the dates. The goal is to get people to visit us at the library, so we will bring materials just like we have for the Gives Back, Recycle Brevard Gives Back. So we're gonna have free reusable materials for, to find new homes. Um, it can be a drop off for TerraCycle items that we collect. So people don't have to drive to our drop off locations, and we're coming to those communities. So those are the libraries that open on Sundays. So that's, how we started to book that way. And of course, if you visit, you learn about our work, and whatever we receive, we'll be separating so we can ship to TerraCycle, and you're welcome to also help us with that. So that will be now in 2025. So, and always from 1:30 to 4. So we are doing the dates. And if you want to see the dates later on, I just posted on our social media, so Instagram and Facebook. They both have the dates there, so we can refer back to them. Um, so, and this is our facility. If you're familiar with Cocoa Village, this is the courtyard area. Um, and we are upstairs. That's why I took a picture from the stairs. So we are upstairs on the second floor, and we're open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. most Saturdays. So I always say, if before visiting, please check our online calendar, because sometimes we have or a different event or something that happens, and we cannot open that Saturday. So but most Saturdays we are there. So um and then we get to recycle. So what we focus on when we talk about recycling is recycling of hard to recycle materials, so things that cannot be recycled normally in our county or the city where you live. And those can be different a little bit, um, but we focus on options for things that cannot be easily recycled. Um, so like I said, hard to recycle. So these are the main two was TerraCycle, and electronics and metal. So, we collect those at our drop-off locations. And when we are open, you are more the welcome to come and bring some, like the craft materials and things like that for reusing. So we accept those at the office mostly, but we do get those in our boxes too. And like I said, we either put in our bazaar, or we donate to others, to teachers, and even like at our events now that we're gonna take materials so to the community, so they don't go to the landfill. And that's the main goal, to divert from the landfill. Um, and on the right, you can see our drop-off location. So and those are our new uh, um, well, the address of the location. So one, if you know Miss Mango and Company, um, so it's on US 1, and that's the first picture on the left. So if you're passing, you pass her building, and then our box, it's north of a building. You can park right in front of it or around, and or in her facility, um, and um, and then just walk to the box, and it's always open. And we collect once a week, so we empty the box once a week. And for any of the boxes, what we ask is for people when they're donating anything, to put it in a box or in a bag because, for us, just to make it easier for us to empty the box and just take everything because we need to separate anyway. The more you can separate and group things together, the better because that's what we do. Um, but at least to put like in a box or in a bag, so we can pick it up from there and just, empty the box. So that's like I said, that one, the one on the left is it was our first box. And and we are in Rockledge. So the middle one was the last one that we added, as in Satellite Beach. So really thankful for the city of Satellite Beach. They help a lot and they have great programs too. So we joined forces, and now we have a box over there for the extra and the hard to recycle materials. So that's in on right behind in the parking lot behind uh, the building that they have at 565 Cassia Boulevard. So and the last one is in Merritt Island. So that one is north, is the north, yeah, the one that we have the farthest, north. And that's why also, the going to the library, we can go a little bit more north. So we're going to Port St. John and Titusville. Um, so you don't have to even drive to Merritt Island. So that's the closest one to the Titusville and Port St. John location is our Merritt Island box. So um, this is well, some examples of things that we collect for TerraCycle. So it can be your empty toothpaste tube, your plastic toothbrush, your empty dental floss container. We take any material, for disposable razors, the packaging and the razor itself, and late July, they have a program for recycling as, does Little Bites, um, and Brita and the go-go squeeze, that's like the little food, like baby food, kind of toddler. So some of these, they are brand specific, like the Brita and Late July. I cannot accept all the chip bags or, that kind of bags, that kind of bag, because it is what they accept. So I have to collect and ship what the program permits. So, but just the toothbrushes and the disposable razor, the other ones, um, all Little Bites is also brand specific, but the other three, you can put any brand and we are able to recycle them. So it varies depending on what program TerraCycle opens. So TerraCycle, for the ones who don't know, they are a company and a for-profit company. And what they do is have an agreement with the manufacturer of certain products that will uh, recycle or take back their waste, and TerraCycle will process that waste and either recycle or uh, create what they call the upcycling. So they create like bags out of chip bags and, you know, uh, binders and different things like that, that they can recycle. So they process some, or they recreate or upcycle some of the material they collected, but all with the, it's a manufacturer connection. That's what they do. So whatever the manufacturer chooses to do and to collect, then TerraCycle will provide. So that's why some are brand specific and some are not. So it depends on what the manufacturer of certain product agreed and allows TerraCycle to accept, and that comes down to us too. So oh, here is and something new too. Um, so we do. certain things that we collect, like the TerraCycle that I mentioned before, anyone can participate. We just need to ship them and ship the material. We have free label for shipping those materials, so we do that. And but certain things we need to purchase boxes to send them back uh, in a program just like the batteries and some other TerraCycle programs, a waste type of waste. So for the batteries, if anyone would like to recycle, we collect the single use AAA, AA. We do collect those and accept them. We just ask for a donation contributing towards, the box that we need to purchase. And so we figure that a $2.50 donation per pound of battery that you would like to recycle, um, that will help us get the box and then ship for recycling. So sometimes you just have a handful of batteries that will help everyone. So you don't have to buy a box yourself. So we purchase the boxes and the boxes are shared with the community. So everybody can contribute and everybody brings their own battery. So that's one thing. And the boxes that we have, the TerraCycle boxes, as you can see, we can collect even more things, just like the glue sticks and pens and markers, like dead pens and markers, dried. Um, Water filters, the one that you change from your fridge, or different brands that they have, Pure and other brands. The coffee capsules, we can do that too. But we need to purchase boxes for those. So what we just launching now is the Recycling Club membership, and this will allow us to purchase the boxes. And your membership can be monthly donation, and or annual donation, and that money will go towards the purchase of the boxes that we need to recycle. So membership, like the supporter, it starts as at $5 a month, and we have other tiers, but um, we can, even that will make a difference to what we do. And putting all together, we'll be able to purchase more boxes and recycle more. So if you would like to join, it's on our website. So if you visit our website and there's on the menu as how to take action and get involved, and then memberships. So that's the page where our memberships are listed, and then you can pick which one you would like to uh, um, to sign up for. So that's that. Uh, Other things that we do also is the what can be in your recycle bin. So this varies from city to city, so it might be slightly different depending on where you live. So you should follow what your city publishes as far as what they accept. For example, glass is some cities that they do not want glass in the recycle bin. Um, but this is our table that you can print as a guideline for unincorporated Brevard. So this is basically it's a one page, so you can put on your fridge so you remember, or just go on the website and you take a look if you're not sure. Um, but this is basically, available for you as a resource. So you know what to put in your recycle bin at home or at work, and you can help others also to to know um, how to use the recycle bin. A very good resource, and I put the link at the bottom. Brevard County created a page where they have like pictures and information on what can go in the recycle bin, and that they made it per room. So what you have in your kitchen, what you have in your bathroom, what you have in your office. So they grouped by room, and then you can see what you can recycle and some just like what we have here and what cannot go in there that sometimes are a little bit of a um, raise questions that you are not sure. So they do have that, and it's a great resource, and you can just access that anytime too. Um, so that's that's the recycling part. So um, now, so this is what I always, we kind of stop a little bit and have what can go into a recycle bin because we get so many questions, just like, oh, I thought this one could, but this is plastic. How come it cannot? Um, so I just have a few things that might be, so some are easy and I'll just make some examples and maybe leave it to the Q&A. So if you have a question about, something that can be recycled or not, then I'll try to answer that. So the first one is like a jar. So any jar, glass jar in unincorporated Brevard, you can put this in your recycle bin. But like I said, some cities, they do not want glass in the recycle bin, and it will depend on the recycler, what they collect, the ones processing your recycled material. So that for unincorporated Brevard, you can. Um, for example, things like these things, like the lid and the cookie tray. Um, Even though they are plastic, they're not plastic that should go in a recycle bin. So those will go in the trash. And basically, for the recycle bin, another one that so a bottle, just like any bottle. And one thing that people ask, can I leave the cap on? Yes, you can. The plastic cap can be on your bottle and then go both together, go in the bin. If you separate them, then the cap cannot be recycled anymore because it's too small. So if you keep them together and always like an empty bottle, so you just rinse it or finish your water or just throw it out and then put in the recycle bin. Containers like salad and things like that, they cannot go in the recycle bin, so those will go in the trash. And let me get one more. Let's see that we always Oh yeah, so like straws and cups, plastic cups. So those are also um trash. They cannot go in the recycle bin. So if you have any questions, just please add to the Q&A. I have a lot more here, but I think uh we can review that if you have questions. So
And
all
then
right, so
Marcia, just
continue
letting you
on.
know, sorry, we've
Mhm.
got about 10 minutes until question.
Okay. 5 more minutes?
About 10.
Oh, 10 minutes? Okay, perfect. All right. So, so this is like how can you get information from us? Um, so we have our website and a lot of different resources over there. We are going through an update phase. So now, it was like our volunteer page, now the membership, and little by little, we update. But just keep in mind, we are volunteers and we try to do multiple things. So if you have any questions, please either post social media, questions, or you can email us as well at info@recyclebrevard.org. So, questions are welcome too. Um, and also through the website, there is if you can send a message from the website and then we get that too. Um, so social media, we tend to post things like the upcoming events, the discussion course, the library dates and everything. So they're on social media. We have two newsletters. One is the bulletin that we are sharing information, what's going on, what we're doing, and the supply hub. If you're interested in reusing materials, we encourage you to sign up to the supply hub and just that will be when we have things available or we want to highlight or we have too many or certain things that we're going to post and send. And if you're interested, you can email us back. And so we describe how to participate. So it's basically sharing materials through, the email and uh, and connecting that way. Um, Beyond the curb, so I write the column and try to share information not only about Recycle Brevard or interesting things that I see and I read about or I experience. It can be sustainability, recycling, everything coming together. So, if you live in Vieira, or if you have access to Vieira Voice, you can read the column there and other websites. So TerraCycle, Call to Recycle, Lagoon Loyal, we are part of that too. And they help also because TerraCycle, if you want to recycle something, we don't. You can purchase your own box, for example. So there are options like that. The same for Call to Recycle. Call to Recycle is the batteries. That's where we get our batteries, boxes, and you can also check them out and purchase. If you have a large amount of, that you need to recycle, you can purchase your own box and recycle directly with them. And through presentation, so we can connect here and you can ask your questions. So how you can help and you can get involved. So, of course, being a volunteer organization, a nonprofit, 100% run by volunteers, we always need help, different kinds of help. So we try to, whoever is willing to help and participate, we try to find um, a place that, you can help and you feel like you enjoy what you're doing, or use your talent. And so we're always looking for help. So just, we have a page on our website that you just fill in a form that saying your availability, what you would like to do, and things like that, and then we get back to you. So it can be from, helping us table at events or uh, just doing collection from the drop-off locations or coming to our now connect at the library. So you can help us separate materials over there and things like that. So, yeah, spreading the word, just, share out posts, tell other people, see if we can send less to the landfill and recycle more. That's what we're here for. So, and other way to support us is to practice yourself, the 3 R's and help us with that. Participate in our programs, become a recycling club member, visit our bazaar. So maybe there's something, a treasure over there that you don't know, or if you're looking for a gift. And so we have that because, we have all different kinds of things and sending us a donation so we can put towards everything that I explained to you. So, um, and that's it. That's all I prepared. So I'll be happy to stop sharing. Right, Anna, I can just stop sharing now. And
Yeah, that's fine.
okay,
It's
perfect.
the
So,
Q&A.
yeah, all
And
right.
okay, so if you have questions and you haven't put them in the Q&A yet, now is the time to do that. I'm gonna start with a couple questions that we got over email. First, are the blue and white shipping envelopes that come from Amazon a lot, are those recyclable?
Wow, those you can recycle at the grocery store.
Okay,
The same place where you put grocery bags. The only thing is that if you can't remove the labels, because that's always the problem, the contamination combining different. So the plastic is completely plastic before, which was good because they changed from the mixed material and that could not go anywhere. Um, to fully plastic. So that could go in the like the grocery store bin.
okay, awesome. What about metal scraps like aluminum siding? Is that recyclable in a recycle bin?
No, no. And the recycle bin, what they want is this kind of, it's just food, like food cans and drinking,
Okay,
or
got it.
aluminum bottles. And you can also get like, if you have those trays, the aluminum trays, like the serving or, the uh, disposable dishes that you take to a party or something, if they're clean. So the problem always is contamination. So food is always a no-no in a recycle bin. So if you can rinse, so if it is too um, soiled, you can't really recycle. So, but even aluminum foil, you can just keep putting a ball, make a ball bigger, and then you can have you can put that in your recycle bin. Other things like electronics and small metals, they're not like the kitchen, the drinking, the cans and things like that. We collect at our drop-off locations.
Okay. And then I saw on one of your slides that during election years, you'll take those plastic yard signs. Are you still accepting those or is it too late?
It's too late now.
Okay.
So because what happens that we collected and we had a partnership with a recycler that they came to pick up, that they pick up the whole load of plastic, corrugated plastic. So when I still have a few, so that's when we try to reuse because sometimes we can use for mats and teachers can use like art teachers. You can cover the table, different things like that. So we have some. We cannot receive a bunch of them because then we don't even have a place to store. But we can get a few here and there for reuse. It will not be for recycling, but it will go, for the our reuse.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. We've got lots of questions.
Yeah, that's good.
See. Okay, we have a question about the Brevard County residential recycling pickup. There's a rumor that the contents of those bins just go into the landfill with everything else. Is that true?
Well, I'm not part of, the process, but I have visited and the facility that separates the recycling. And the problem is that once a load is contaminated, they cannot process that, and that will go sadly in the landfill. So they separate things. So there is the MRF that, the truck comes in and just pours everything onto the floor and then that starts the process, the conveyor belt going all over. So there is separation. They do have the separation going and it will depend. I don't know, for example, they separate a bunch of plastic and but how long they wait for that to be sold or to find a buyer until they just decide, well, we're getting more coming in, so we need to do something with that. So I don't think that 100% what we put in the recycle bin will go in into recycling, but recycling is still happening. So I think if we do our share and if we learn how to do it better, that we separate and we just put what is acceptable, the more we do that, the better the process will be. And then the more valuable the recycling that we're putting in the bin will be, so they will have more of an incentive to recycle and sell that material.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, next question. We talk a lot, especially here, about the Indian River Lagoon, and keeping it healthy and keeping the ocean healthy. So do you think that there's barriers to Brevard County implementing like a plastic bag fee or not having any plastic bags? Is there maybe a reason that they haven't done that yet?
Well, there are reasons, and it's not Brevard County, it's the state of Florida. So certain
Okay,
things, especially with policy, um, that has been tried. The same with styrofoam. I worked on, just changing and the styrofoam for parks so we don't have that material being used and in schools. Um, and but it depends. It's not only the county or one organization that if we decide to do something, we can just go ahead and do it. We have the layers. So, and plastic bag, it's been a long time and that was proposed for it to be, it was a ban and then, so I I don't know about like the latest that I read, but at maybe a few months ago, it was still not a go. So it's not Brevard County. It's a layer of, policy. So sometimes we just have to try to change that so before we can even do something. So that's how it goes.
yeah, it's hard. It's a long process.
Hmm.
For your drop-off location in Merritt Island, on Merritt Island, is there a building that it's closest to? Like that looks like, is it maybe near the North Point Baptist Church or near the Salty Bean?
It's on the salty beans uh um land. So it's
Okay,
their parking lot. So on the corner to the left on the parking lot, right before the little the farm that she has there. So that's where we have our box. And
okay,
it's open as long as they close the gate, but even when they're closed, you can go to behind it, and there is a ways for you to get, from behind the parking lot and just use the box that way.
okay, awesome. Is all of the info that you shared today on your website?
Most of it.
Okay,
So some, like I said, we are reviewing and updating. So like the membership is the part of volunteering. So we updated, the form and things like that. And little by little. So the TerraCycle, the issue with TerraCycle, we're always trying to catch up because they open and close different programs all the time. So it
okay,
might be, so that list always needs to be reviewed. Um, but most of it is, the bulk of it is.
okay, awesome. For the electronics recycling that you do, is there a size or weight limitation for that?
Well, for us because we don't have a big truck, we don't have, so it's going to be something like box size that will be ideal, and you can combine everything in a box. And yeah, so it cannot be like your washing machine. We don't do that. Or, but it can be a remote control, your stereo, VCR or things like that. So we can
Okay,
definitely, your coffee pot, vacuum cleaner, that kind of stuff. So we do accept that. And of course, computers, hard drives and stuff. So
awesome.
yeah, the only thing, so let me just, the only things that we cannot accept is printers, TVs and monitors because we don't have a place to take them. So those are the things that we cannot accept at the moment.
Okay, great to know. Let's see. Is there a way to recycle number one and number two plastic items? Let's see, that are like odd shapes or like 5 gallon paint buckets and things like that?
Yeah, the number is it's an odd thing because like, the plastic bottles, they're most of the time they are number one, but then you get the clamshells and they're number one too, but they're a different shape. The thing with plastic is that it's just a soup of chemicals, and then the number that we see on the, the triangle is just the main component in that soup. Is not, so that's why you see different things that, like I said, like the clamshell and the bottle we take, but the clamshell we don't. And because as part of that soup, the color, the flexibility, uh, and it will influence the recipe that the things that you put in the soup. So for depending on what it is, you know, uh, for our for Brevard County, and we ask for bottles, and this is the county recycling. So it's bottles, tubs, and so let me see if I have. So like the on the table, let me see here. If we go back to the the table um of recycling. So we have it's the bottles, the jars and canisters, so your peanut butter jar and things like that. Or your wipe um tissue that you have, the wipies. So those the canister that can go in. And also the plastic tubs from cream cheese and everything. So and jugs. So those are the shapes. So the for plastic is more w- when I spoke with waste management some time ago, they were focusing on the shape and not on the number because that's what they can process. So even like your detergent, sometimes we get those. There are the larger ones that are like lay flat on the shelf. They have a handle. Those can go in your recycle bin. So it will depend. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anywhere that we can recycle clothing that might be torn or have holes in it?
Uh, yeah, that was something that um we've been trying to connect with a recycler for that. Um, and there was a an organization that did that, but they stopped. So at the moment, we do not have that. But having said that, I received the other day, it was a box with clean socks and but just used. So and then a bag with some pieces of cloth and some socks. And so and I had, because of the supply hub, I had a teacher who was looking for socks because she wants to make puppets. So you never know, you know, how we can connect with the need in the community or what you have. So I would say no. And normally we do not accept that because we don't have storage now, and it's kind of hard. But if there is a need, for example, this teacher, I just received this and she just sent me an email. So it was like just clicked and helped it, and it was
Oh,
perfect. So yeah. So but no, a short answer is no, not at the moment.
okay. That's
So
awesome though that you were able to find one.
I know. I was like, oh my goodness, because once I received, what do I do with it? Because I cannot throw it, so I need to find a different
Yeah.
way to reuse it or do something with it. So I found a home for that. So I was happy too.
I do have one suggestion for the person who asked this question with the torn clothing. My mom she'll make it into like squares. And she'll use it like as kitchen rags or cleaning rags or stuff like that. So that is one option if you want to sort of keep it and recycle it or reuse it in your home. That I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. And
And
then,
sometimes just sometimes like if it is an old towel or something like that, even animal shelters, they can reuse that. just to
Yes.
put, so sometimes we think, oh, nobody would want that, but there's always somebody else or some other type of use that's similar. So I do that too, like the rags and things like that. But animal shelters will be also a good way to, you know, donate, even like sheets sometimes. If it is old sheets, they're not brand new, they have a stain, but that will make maybe a bed for an animal, and that will be helpful too.
That's awesome also. Let's see. Okay. Um, this question, my condo association has stopped recycling as they said it was too expensive. Is recycling really expensive, and is there anything that we can do to lessen the cost?
Well, the recycling is a business, and the prices, yeah, they set the prices. The companies doing the recycling, they set the prices. I don't know about their costs, but since recycling is a lot more work than just collecting trash and dumping in the landfill, because recycling, you collect, you need to separate, you need to prepare the bales, you need to store the bales, you need to find a buyer, you need to, you know, ship to the buyer. So it's a whole different process and a lot more costly than just dumping everything in the landfill. If well, from our perspective, like landfill, it will be more expensive because it's the land, we're burying stuff, uh, um, so it's using more of our space and producing methane, just and things like that we need to worry about. But from the company perspective, that's a simpler process. So how they price it, sometimes they have flat fees for the bins, and so that will depend on the company that you that you use. Uh, at least like in Brevard, I know we have like Waste Management, Waste Pro, and Republic. And so it will depend on what they charge. So yeah. And sometimes, and that's why you might think like, yeah, it's more expensive because it is more expensive for them to even process the material. But yeah.
Okay, good to know. Let's see. If someone wants to get a TerraCycle box, where can they do that?
The TerraCycle website, they have a shop that you can choose the size and the type. What you can, maybe you want to have one that is everything they from your kitchen So they have a lot of different options for what you can purchase. And then the box is not only where you deposit or what your waste where you're collecting, but then you just close that and you ship the box for them to process over there. So
Okay, great. Okay, one more question. Um, let's see. Do you do any organized tours of the recycling facility, or was that something you'd be open to doing?
well, right now we do not have a facility. We used to organize tours for the landfill because that's, how I started. So to get groups and see what I saw, and just like maybe it will change perspectives. That's my goal. So we used to do a few tours. It was the water clean water plant, and the reclaimed water also, and the landfill. So they are not Recycle Brevard, tours. We were just organizing. So we would get a group from the community to have, the tour. But you can, as a citizen, as a resident, you can just contact them directly and visit. So it is open. So right now we do not have a facility. We just have an office, and we have our drop-off locations. So that's Recycle Brevard. Right now, that's Recycle Brevard. So if you would like to either help us with the separation or anything like that, the library programs now that we have. So that will be a great place to start.
Awesome. Okay, and great to know that you can just go see those places if you live here.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for all your awesome questions and for attending. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much, Marcia, for being here and
Oh,
teaching us a little bit.
thank you for having me, and thanks everybody for all the questions and for being here. All right.
Have a great day. Thank
Okay,
you.
you too. Bye-bye.